It has always been a hot debate between the Turks and Greeks whether it's Istanbul or Constantinople. But from its humble beginnings to its modern glory, Istanbul has had many names that reflects its rich and diverse history. Our journey begins over 3 millennia ago when Istanbul was known as Ligos, which is presumed to be the name of the Thracian settlement situated on the historic peninsula. Around 400 years later, in the 7th century BC, by the order of King Visas, Greek colonists found Byzantium in place of Ligos. Byzantium was a settlement strategically located on the European side of the Bosphorus Strait, serving as a vital crossroads between Europe and Asia. By the 3rd century AD, the city became known as Augusto Antonina, but only for a brief period, after Roman Emperor Septimus Severus named it in honor of his son Antoninus. Fast forward to the 4th century AD, the first Christian Roman Emperor Constantine the Great recognized the strategic importance of Byzantium and decided to transform it into his new imperial capital. At first, the city was called Nova Roma, meaning New Rome. However, not too long after, it was renamed Constantinople in honor of Constantine the Great upon his death. Thus, the New Rome became Constantinople. As centuries passed, Constantinople underwent a significant transformation. The conquest of the city by the Ottoman Turks in 1453 led to it taking on a new name yet again, Istanbul. There are two theories about the origin of this name. The first one claims that the root of the name Istanbul comes from the Greek phrase istinbolin, meaning in the city. The second theory claims that the name translates to full of Islam in Turkish, and reflects the strong Islamic influence that shaped the city's culture, architecture, and way of life. Istanbul remained the city's name in Turkish for centuries and eventually evolved into Istanbul. However, the name Constantinople, a variant of Constantinople, was used up until the 20th century as the official name of the city in many Ottoman documents. For example, this postcard from 1905 refers to the whole city area as Constantinople, but the inner city on the historic peninsula as Istanbul. 1923 saw the establishment of the Republic of Turkey and later on its adoption of the Latin alphabet. Around this time, the name Istanbul exclusively began to be used in postcards and official documents. The city's name was officially changed to Istanbul. Now that we have covered a chronological history of the name of the city, let's take a look into what other languages have called Istanbul. The Vikings and the Norse people who came to Istanbul first as traders and later as mercenaries called the city Miklagard, meaning the Great City. Today, this is still the name used in modern Icelandic and Faroese languages. In Swedish, in addition to Miklagard, the name Heraklion was also used. In the Slavic and Romanian languages, it was called Starigrad, meaning the city of the Tsar. Today, Carigrad is still used in Slovenian. In addition to Carigrad, the name Zavegrad was also used in Russian for a brief period. Also, some historical documents in the Czech language use the name Aylana. During the Mongol Empire era, the Mongols called it Chakturyan or Chakturkan. Besides the name Constantinople that was used in Turkish, Persian, and Arabic, Arabs also called the city Rumiyat al-Kubra, meaning the great city of the Romans. Persians called it Takht-e-Rum, meaning the throne of the Romans. Although it is not very common, the name Polis or Bolis, meaning city, is still used in daily life speech by Greek and Armenian speakers. In Navajo, which is the most widely spoken Native American language in North America, Istanbul is called Alcinaha. In Hungarian, it was called Vezanduvar or Vizandovar. In Mandarin, the name of Istanbul is pronounced as Yisitanbuar. In Finnish and Dutch, Istefania or Estefania were commonly used. The Portuguese addressed the city as Kostia or Kostin. If you have a different name for Istanbul in your own language, let me know by writing it below in the comments section. Thanks for watching.